A couple of months ago, Justin Bieber was one of the major celebrities that made headlines for allegedly being paid $10 million to perform an exclusive concert at a pre-wedding party. The setlist included many of his well-known hits, and while Taylor has made appearances at special fan events in the past, none of them have come at that expense. Either way, this got us thinking, if we were given a budget of millions, which songs from Taylor's discography would we like her to include at such a high-cost event? Would we go for fan-favourite crowd pleasers or lesser-known deep cuts? Hello and welcome to Swiftly Spoken, a fan-made Taylor Swift podcast in which we break down her lyrics, deep dive into full album retrospectives, and theorise about what may be coming next. As always, we are your hosts Cameron and Lisa, and this week we're going to be challenging ourselves to create our ultimate 13-song concert set list. So in this episode, we're going to start off by just kind of running through the Justin Bieber wedding event and kind of some similar events, and then move on to discuss some wedding events that Taylor has attended, and then use the Bieber event to kind of frame our ultimate £10 million Taylor Swift set list.
Firstly, getting into Justin's event in specific, we're kind of like speaking about this one, although many celebrities have done these paid exclusive concerts and performances in the past. It's not just Justin Bieber, but this one got quite a lot of traction on the internet a couple of months ago in summer. So we thought, it's quite relevant. We're going to take that idea and imagine if all the stars aligned, and if Taylor would be willing to do that, what would we ask her? Well, we'll get into it, and I'll ask you this question, Cameron, about the set list of Justin Bieber's event. And we'll see what we think about it. But anyway, so Justin basically performed reportedly for around $10 million at a pre-wedding party. The wedding went on for like a few days. It was this massive, massive event. It's one of like the richest men in Asia that hosted it. So it makes sense. It was very exclusive, and it had this was one of the biggest parts of it. Now, he performed a total of 12 songs. I'm going to read out the set list, and then we can kind of talk about what I was alluding to, which basically is, do you think this set list was curated? Like, did they ask him to perform these ones? Do you think that they kind of like, I don't know, his team, they came up with the set list to please the crowds? I don't know. So I'll read it out. So we have Sorry, What Do You Mean, Where Are You Now, Cold Water, Love Yourself, Essence, Boyfriend, Peaches, Hold On, No Brainer, All That Matters, and Baby. I'm not like the biggest Justin Bieber fan. I don't think you are either, but I think that many people could recognize at least 9 or 10.
11. I was going to say 11.
For me, there's only like 3 that I don't know straight away. Yeah.
I've never heard of.
I think that was a remix version as well. Apparently, I saw that he performed. I don't know, Hold On right now, All That Matters, or No Brainer. They're not ringing any bells for me. But all the rest.
You probably would. You'd be, because those ones I thought the same, and then I listened to them and I was like,
okay.
They've got like DJ Khaled in and stuff like that.
Okay. So they're probably just like the title isn't ringing any. Okay, yeah. So
exactly.
But the rest of them, like classics, like we all know them.
$10 million. Yeah, $10 million for the most basic Justin Bieber songs. And maybe the person that hired Justin to perform, maybe they were just looking for a big act, and maybe they did just want kind of hits, crowd pleasers. But I just feel like if you're paying that much, you would assume you're a massive fan of that person, and maybe those are their favourite songs, but I just feel like you'd want, I don't know, like maybe more than just kind of the ones that you hear all the time, maybe something a bit more special. I think that's what kind of inspired us maybe to do this, was that if I had $10 million up for offer, I would want to make sure that you were playing this song in
like
this
it was
way,
going
and
to
that
be
way,
That's what I mean, like I don't know, because I can imagine also that perhaps this was imagined, because the pre-wedding party wasn't just like a very intimate event, it was like a party. It was more like a concert or like it really was. So there's a lot of people that might not know all the deep cuts. Like I can imagine you and I are looking at it from the lens of being super fans of a specific artist and wondering and thinking about what we would want them to sing to us at a private event. But at the same time, maybe the general public who saw this set list thought, that is very solid. And don't get me wrong,
a killer of a set list.
It is a solid set list in the sense that I could have been there, you could have been there, anyone could have been there and would have enjoyed their night, to be honest. Like I'm not a Justin Bieber fan, but I would have been singing along to like at least half of that, because that you just know them.
They're massive hits.
Exactly. Yeah. It depends on what you want, and I do think that we both will be prefacing our set list with what we envision for our shows.
Oh, yes.
But it is because of that massive amount of money that I just feel a bit like, this is a bit basic, isn't it? Like, But Justin isn't the only celebrity, of course, that has done something like this. He has done a couple of like these like private things. He also did a short set at an NHL All-Star party this year as well, but a lot of other celebrities have done this before. So for example, recently, like we also have seen like big performances by like Katy Perry, the Backstreet Boys, Rihanna, Beyonce, Coldplay. They've all been hired, like you say, to perform at very like specific events. So it's something that seems to have cropped up over time. I mean, obviously celebrities have always done like these kind of like private concerts and things like that, but it seems like that this year there was like a bit of a resurgence of it, and that Justin one, like we say, it specifically hit the news because he hadn't been around for a while and because he performed all of them big hits.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what's interesting is it kind of got us thinking like, okay, so has Taylor done anything similar? I feel like these events are often not really mentioned by the artist, and they're kind of almost done like on the slide a little bit, because I guess maybe it is kind of a bit like, I don't know, a bit it comes across as potentially a little bit greedy, because, you know, it's like these massive high fees, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know, are you wanting to do this, or is this more just like that the money's really good and you can't turn it down? So I think that that's probably why these events kind of get attention. And like we said, after this kind of went quite viral, it then got us thinking about what Taylor has done that's maybe similar or in the same kind of vein. And Taylor's never done a paid wedding appearance at all and has never done anything similar to this, but there is potentially something that she did do that is slightly similar in the fact that it's private and quite exclusive, and that was back in 2014. She did a performance for targeted like stakeholders, and it was like a no phone policy, I believe, no recording. However, there are a couple of videos that got out from the performance, and you might recognize it when we tell you the video. And it's one of Taylor singing I Knew Your Trouble, and on the high note of the bridge, as she leans back, she actually falls over, and has to like stumble and get back up.
It's funny because like absolutely nothing has really come out. Like there aren't any videos of the entire performance of anything from that night, but there are so many videos of like that one that like went viral as well, and it is one of the big ones of her unfortunately falling over.
No one was allowed to record anything,
except
like, nothing's really come out from it, but the one bit that someone did record was like her falling over, bless her. But yeah, so, and then there's also a photo of her that every so often goes viral because like people edit, because it's not really a well-known picture or a well-known outfit. She's kind of wearing like a kind of leathery bodysuit with kind of like very 1989 little kind of shorts on, and people kind of edit her hair length, and I believe during the Reputation era it kept going viral a couple of times because people would edit the hair to look Reputation and would say that it was like a unseen Rep Tour outfit or something. So it does go viral every so often just because people are not very aware of it, but that's the only similar event, even though it is obviously totally different to the Bieber one. But in terms of wedding events, there are actually 3 that Taylor has attended. All of these have been free. She has not been paid. She has kind of rocked up slightly unannounced, but we thought we'd run through those just because it'd be kind of fun to kind of link this concept back to Taylor again. So the first one is an engagement party in around February of 2019, and basically Alex Goldschmidt had proposed to his boyfriend earlier in the day, and then later on in that day he was holding a party with some of their close friends, and basically he had invited Taylor to rock up and perform King of My Heart, which was the couple's kind of like favourite Taylor Swift song and was quite important to their relationship. And when Taylor rocked up, she kind of rocked up in this like blue, like flowery dress with a guitar, and Taylor said that Alex had emailed her and said that he was going to do this and that there was a song that was really special to both of them. Taylor then said, "So I've come prepared, I've been off tour for a while, but hopefully it's still alright. This is from Alex, it's sung by me, but it's from Alex." And then she performed King of My Heart.
Loved
it was very
this.
Sweet. It kind of went viral.
Yeah, it did. I love this performance. I have to say, you already know King of My Heart, one of my favourites from Reputation. I remember it so vividly because we were in that pre-lover kind of moment, but we all knew something was happening, and then she suddenly turned up to this. The dress she was wearing coincidentally was kind of like a bit of an Easter egg because it was like labelled the Lover something or other dress. So I remember that very vividly. She looked really, really nice as well. Loved what she was wearing. Loved the performance.
Gorgeous rendition.
It really was. It really gets me. Like even you just like describing that then, I was like little tear welling up in my eye because it was a really, really, and they were both like crying as well. Oh, love it, love it. Can you imagine being surprised?
Yeah.
Just
with that.
Random Taylor Swift comes and sings an acoustic song to you, and it's like, all right then.
Yeah, I know, unreal. So yeah, that was one of them. There's also two others. So the other one is a bridal shower in around 2014. So Jenna Gabrielle who was a fan, had sent Taylor an invite to her bridal shower that was happening in Columbus. And basically, it's actually on Taylor's YouTube channel. As we said in a previous episode, back in the day, especially Fearless, early 1989, Taylor loved a vlog. Even Speak Now, like international tour, she loved a bloody vlog.
Oh yeah, there's so many little adventures of her out and about during the Speak Now era.
Yep. This was her kind of vlogging era. So anyways, in the little vlog, she said, there's a girl named Jenna who's been coming to my show for years. I was at the management office the other day and we were going through fan mail and invitations and stuff, and I got this wedding invite. Unfortunately, Taylor couldn't make the actual date of the wedding. However, there was also a bridal shower invite, which Taylor could make. So then Taylor goes on to say, I've never been to a bridal shower, so we're going to fly to Ohio today. And she basically rocked up and surprised Jenna, and there was lots of photos of them, and she gave them lots of like gifts and stuff. It's very, very sweet, and just like, what a surprise. Imagine just like inviting Taylor, not expecting that she'd ever actually show up. And then she does. Like, that would just be crazy.
Again, like you said, it was absolutely just such a surprise. And it very random, like how, I guess in the case of Alex Goldschmidt, they do already have a professional relationship.
He kind of emailed her about it.
Yeah, it was more of like a professional relationship between them. But in this case, it is a bit more like just a bit random bit of fan mail. And just randomly Taylor Swift shows up, which is incredible. But yeah, and then this third one as well is such a crazy experience as well.
Yes. So the third one is kind of known as like the blank space piano wedding. So this is a full-blown wedding. Obviously the other two have been engagement parties and bridal showers, but this is a full-blown wedding, and this was in around June 2016, and Taylor crashed a wedding, and basically, even though the bride and groom weren't expecting her, she was invited. She surprised Max Singer and Kenya Smith, a couple that were celebrating their wedding, and their favourite Taylor Swift song was Blank Space. And during the kind of wedding reception, they got Taylor Swift to sing Blank Space on the piano, and she also made them a handmade card and kind of like little drawing that said, so it's going to be forever, with their names and kind of the date of the wedding. And there's like lots of pictures of Taylor at this event. I believe they're like on a boat in some of the pictures, like, or at least kind of like by a kind of like water. And Taylor had her like proper bleach.
Oh, it was so white. It really was. It's like very platinum. It was like shiny in the sun and everything.
This was like
I love this again.
Bleachella.
Love this look. She looks really good. I know you say what you want about Bleachella, but some of the looks are misses and some of them are hits. This is one of them.
Oh yes, major hit. And then there has been a couple of other weddings that Taylor's attended as a actual guest, because she's obviously a friend of the people getting married, so we haven't kind of included those just because those are not kind of fan events in the same vein as the Justin Bieber one. So yeah, there's kind of been 3 similar events, but obviously these have all been non-paid. But now I guess we will move into the exciting part of the episode, which is us going through our ideal set lists. If we had £10 million and Taylor said, yes, I'll perform, what we would then want her to perform.
Much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, because there's so much pressure. I feel it's like I don't want to misuse my $10 million, but or pounds or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, and you said this to me before, because I'm still kind of like doubting a little bit on mine. I kind of got it now, but I don't know. I felt like I was very like, I don't want to miss out on anything, but at the same time, I don't know. How did you feel about it going into it? Is there a kind of theme you followed? Is there something that you've...
So I guess firstly, the kind of, because we always kind of set rules for ourselves, I guess the rules we set for this one, because the Justin Bieber one was 12 songs, so we thought let's go 13. So we've set 13 songs. We can kind of pick anything and everything. But I tried to frame it around, at the end of the day, if this was at a wedding, obviously there are going to be guests. As much as it's my £10 million and it's my wedding,
right?
It's kind of like there is still a crowd that you have to please, and I've tried to structure it in a way that, you know, has an opener and the songs seem to flow together, and then, you know, maybe different moments, and I'll get into it, but I've tried to kind of create like an actual fully fledged set list, and not just like a list of my favourite songs. Okay. Because that was what was quite hard, was just like not just going, I just want you to play all of this.
All right, okay, because I might have to do a bit of editing then, because I think my wedding party might be a bit... Depressed.
Well, it would be very depressing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, thankfully, some of my favourites are also kind of a bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
So I didn't have too many problems. But, there's a proper depressive, like, about 50% of the set list.
Yeah.
Is,
I mean, in the end, this is it. Like we've said, it's your 10 million. This is your party. You can have what you want, basically. So,
exactly.
But that's the framing of your one, which I love how you've also given us like an opener, a closer, and everything. That's actually really clever.
Yes. And also, if people wanted to know what she's performing, I can send them the set list and they can learn the song. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. They've got to do their homework before they turn up. Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. So I guess getting into mine then, as I said, I've tried to kind of organise it in an organised format. So I'll start with my kind of opening track.
Right.
This one is maybe a bit rogue as an opener, but I love this song, I love this album, and I felt like I had to kind of... All the songs on here are like my kind of top, within at least my top 20.
Oh, definitely.
Songs,
yeah,
you know
it's got to
like,
be in the ones
favourites.
that you really do have
exactly.
a strong feeling towards. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So my opener is actually Red, the song.
Okay.
Because I think just like do, you know what I mean? Like that's
all
just
right.
quite
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
You know, like it's not on total deep cut, but I feel like people would know it, and I'd want her to do the like Red Tour version. You know,
yes,
I believe it's on the CMAs.
This is something.
The guitar.
This is something that I was going to say to you when we get to my list as well. I want there to be very specific versions of these songs. I can't just have like a random. Like I want that remix of it or mix of it.
Yes,
yeah, I get what you mean.
I want Paul Sidoti,
yeah,
and I want the backing singers. Yeah. Like I want them all there. So my opener was Red because I just love that song, and I think it's a cool one to open with. Next I've chose is the song Fearless, because I just love this song, and any excuse to do a hand heart. I know I've heard this song so much this summer, but I can never get enough. That is one of my all-time favourite Taylor Swift songs. So I feel like those two kind of flow quite nicely. Red's quite a good opener. Fearless is quite a good kind of like second song. Again, kind of get the vibes like positive and cheerful. And then I've kind of gone into The Other Side of the Door, which
is
obviously a Fearless Platinum.
Okay. So we've already got into the deep cuts, really, because...
Yes.
So we've moved into them quite quickly. Oh, so Fearless back to back. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like those two work well. Like they kind of merge. I feel like when I was... Because I've listened to it throughout the day, and I've been like, okay, they merge well together. I don't want to go from like, I don't know, Peter and then like Ready for It. You know what I mean?
Right. It's really like, all right, Taylor, get your face ready. We're going from one to another. Very, very, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to set the mood. So I've done The Other Side of the Door. If you're a long time listener, you know I love Fearless Platinum Edition. Fearless Platinum is my favourite, so there has to be a Fearless Platinum in there, and I feel like that is the best one.
When we were speaking about this, you did say to me, like, I think you were going to be able to guess some of mine, just like I reckon you'll be able to guess some of mine too, but I know that there are about 4 songs in my head that I know are going to appear. I will call them out when we get to them, but an idea of one of them was Platinum Edition of Fearless.
Fearless Platinum.
Yeah,
definitely. It has to be there. Like, that's the thing. It's like I want it to feel like really me. I really want this like set list to feel like me. So The Other Side of the Door, and then I kind of wanted to like slow it down a little bit.
Yes.
And do Cornelia Street on guitar, very Live from Paris vibes. That's the kind of, because I feel like Red is kind of like we get the electric guitar out, you know, we're rocking it out. Then we kind of, it's all guitars, Fearless, and Other Side of the Door, then Cornelia Street. So that's the kind of ones that I've framed the start of. It kind of cools it down a little bit sad, but kind of not. You know what I mean? We're not getting too deep just yet.
No, it's good.
And then my next song is probably one that you would expect, is Crazy.
Here she is. Yes, this is the one that in my head I was like, okay, Crazier is going to be there. Yes. Obviously.
Yes.
You were robbed of Crazier only a couple of weeks before your own, so I understand the pain.
Yes.
And that was like the debut performance of it, and the only ever performance we've had of it. So again, that was something I kind of like took into account when I was going through mine. Like, what are some of the songs that she hasn't really performed very much of? In the end, I didn't really include that too much, but that is something to take into account, I think. And Crazier, that would be like the only other performance of it. That's incredible.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I would want it, like, unless I state these are the full song, I don't want it chopped up.
Oh, okay. No abridgment. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like, you know, I want the full-fledged song. The whole 3 minutes, 5 minutes, however long it is. So Cornelia Street, then into Crazier. I feel like the vibe kind of matches there. And then post Crazier, I've gone Long Live.
Yes.
Because,
we love Long Live.
I always forget that I've heard this song live, because the way that I heard it was on like piano mashed with a New Year's Day on the Reputation Stadium tour.
Right.
But I want proper guitar, whole song, build up to the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Proper, what it should have been on the Eras tour and what it was for a short period of time.
Yeah.
I want that kind of vibe. And I feel like Crazier into Long Live works really well. So we've kind of had the guitar, that's the kind of guitar section of the performance. Then I want to move into a piano section.
Oh, Cameron, you're going to laugh when you see what's coming on my end. This is actually really getting a bit... Okay, we'll get to it. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So the kind of end with Long Live, finish with the guitar, put that down. And then I'd be quite happy here with the band kind of go off and this just be Taylor.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
Purely Taylor.
Yeah.
So obviously Dream song ever, Tim McGraw.
Yes.
Start on that piano.
Yeah.
Gorgeous rendition of Tim McGraw on piano. Unreal, that would be. And this is where I'm kind of slowing it down a bit. So Tim McGraw, kind of slowing it back down. Then after that, I want How Did It End on piano.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I like that.
Yes. And I want it, the Eras tour one where she's how did, proper, this.
Oh, yeah, she's got to earn the 10 million. You give us a performance, Taylor, you know what I mean?
I want tears, I want full emotion.
Yeah.
So Tim McGraw into How Did It End, and then, again, another kind of deep cut. I'm going to do Tied Together with a Smile, because that is also a dream.
Okay,
on piano.
Yes. Wow,
I want the Eras tour kind of version. That would be floods of tears.
I love that, yeah.
So then, after a couple of kind of more deep cuts, I then want the kind of band back, guitar back.
Oh, okay.
And I want All Too Well 10-minute version, SNL version.
Oh, okay. So kind of a bit of a sadder kind of
bit
sad girl
autumn-ish, bit of a lift up. Yeah, it kind of pulls the vibe up a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We've gone from very sad piano songs to kind of a sad song that builds, but is kind of a bit of a scream and shout one.
Yeah.
And then the next song is, again, for myself, which is Better Man.
That's such a good one as well. Guitar. Yes, I've forgotten about Better Man, yeah.
What's it Bluebird Cafe or Super Saturday Night version, that kind of Better Man.
Stripped down.
Just Taylor. Really raw vocals, yeah. Then so she's, got the guitar back again. Then I want her to go back over to that piano, but I want the whole band this time. And this is where I've broken the rules.
All right.
So if you are a long-time listener again, whenever we do these things, I always bend and twist the rules in some way, and it's almost become
kind of expecting it. Yeah.
Almost just you have to expect that I'll do something rogue. So this one is kind of a bit cheating because it's technically 2 songs, but it is a mashup.
Okay.
So this is the first time I want a mashup, and this is the Enchanted Wildest Dreams 1989 World Tour.
Wait, that's such a good one. Yes. Oh, that one of the best remixes. Honestly, one of the best mashups Taylor has done. Yes, loved it.
Literally the most elite version of Wildest Dreams ever. So I want the Enchanted Wildest Dreams because that's just so cool. And I feel even though they're Wildest Dreams is quite a sad song, that version just feels so full and just so cool. I just love that version. And then obviously with that, then ending on again the 1989 World Tour version of Out of the Woods. Oh, what a good ending! What that amazing concert. I wish I could have gone 10 out of 10. Yeah, love that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So that's my £10 million, and I'd happily pay if I had £10 million. I would pay that to see that. That was really solid. Yeah, I think it had lots of introduction. Is the perfect kind of introduction moment. The guitar moment, the piano moment, the high lifting moment again, and then the outro and the encore. I wanted to end on something big, you know what I mean? I wanted to kind of I want that 1989 World Tour with remember, you know what I mean? Oh, proper, definitely. No, it makes me almost excited as if I'm going to have this. I'm oh gosh, imagine. I know. It's never going to happen. It's no, this is just in our heads, but it's still, it's still a fun exercise to do because I found it really hard. We've done a lot of these challenge videos in which we kind of challenge ourselves to make an album or of her greatest hits around a theme, or organize Taylor's songs depending on season or depending on this, that, and the other. This one has been really hard because you don't want to miss any of your favorites. You want to kind of make it all very coherent and cohesive. And the curation of this makes it really exciting. You really want to watch it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's and also it's like you said, I was kind of, initially I was okay, do I make sure I've got something from every album? But then I was no, right, because then that really limits me. So I just kind of chose freely. And unfortunately, Folklore, Reputation, Evermore, and Midnights unfortunately kind of left on the chopping board. That's right. I hadn't noticed that, to be honest. I hadn't,
I hadn't felt their absences. So what did you say? Folklore, Evermore, Midnights and Reputation.
Midnights
wow,
and Reputation,
okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
were kind of all left.
Right.
And not that I don't love those albums.
Of course
I do
not.
love them, but I've heard the entirety of Reputation live.
That's true.
So it's kind of like, and I've heard them in the way that I really want, and I feel like in this kind of private concert context, for me, Reputation, the only version I'd probably want is, was it Delicate Seb remix, or whatever his name is.
Wait, no, you could actually do that though. Like, you could get Seb out, like, just for one little moment.
Track and just do the, did the girls back home touch you like I do? You know what I mean? So that would probably be the only one. And then Folklore and Evermore, again, I've kind of heard the ones that I really want to hear, and like in a really, really cool way that I just, for me, there's so many other songs I would love to hear for the first time, like Crazier and stuff like that.
Yeah. That is actually such I feel like solid.
They're quite obvious.
No, it's like really solid though. Like, I think you've done some obvious ones that I was thinking that you was going to do. I mean, obviously in my head, Crazy had to be there. Tim McGraw had to be there. I did think of Out of the Woods. I did think of Long Live. And then obviously Fearless Platinum. It had to be that in some shape or form. No, I think you've done a good mix of like more well-known ones. All Too Well 10 is there, which I also debated putting on my list, but then I was like, I don't know, is it like overplayed?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I've heard it a lot, but
but
it is just, it's my favourite song ever. Like, I would just feel like a disservice not having it there.
I know, it is kind of, it's a tough one for sure, and it's also a long one, so
exactly. And because
you get your money's worth.
All my songs into like just a playlist on Apple Music, and apparently my set comes to 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Wow, you're getting like a full concert experience. That's actually
which is
good.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
And that's mad that only 13 songs are that, but I have picked quite hefty versions of them, like Enchanted Wildest Dreams and Out of the Woods are like the long versions.
No, I really love that list. I think you did a brilliant job, and I think mine pales a bit in comparison, because I did struggle a bit, because I did want, like you said, I wanted to make it not so kind of like just a collection of my favourite songs, but it has kind of turned into that. I've also broken the rules, so don't worry.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I did think this morning, I was thinking while preparing it, I'm not sure if Cameron will break the rules, but if he doesn't, I'm going to, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
We can keep up the
Our
tradition.
legacy lives on. Before we do continue though, as always, we love to hear your opinions and love for you to get involved. So if you want to, make your own 13 song set list up and let us know in the comments on YouTube. What would you pay 10 million, hypothetically of course, for Taylor to play? What are your deep cuts? What are the ones that you would just die to hear live? Be part of that very one-of-a-kind curated experience. So my one, like you said, I did try and do what you've done. And funnily enough, as I mentioned, I've also divided it into very, very similar categories. Like, we have like an intro kind of moment, we have a guitar moment, we have a piano moment, then we have an outro and an encore moment. So I guess we're kind of like connected or on the same wavelength in that sense, because it literally follows kind of like your structure in that way. I've only just added the last song in now, so there you go.
Okay.
But,
so this is fresh.
In my head, this is going to be a performance that is a very acoustic performance, I have to say.
Yeah, even though Taylor like really shines through as a kind of pop star and with a kind of big backing vocal, I've always felt personally my favourite performances of Taylor, and whenever Taylor's really, really shone through as a songwriter, even vocalist and just an artist and, an instrument player or any of them, is when she's doing those acoustic performances, on a ukulele, on a piano.
This is it.
Like, that for me is like when she really shines through, and the emotion is like, I think, what people resonate with Taylor is just the emotion and just the like gorgeous lyricism, and I feel like that really, really shines through, and it's just her and that guitar and that piano, and it feels like you're there when she's like writing the song and crafting it, and the emotion takes center stage rather than the backing track and the dancing. So no, I think that that makes total sense with going for the acoustic route, because that really is where she shines.
Definitely, I agree with that. My inspiration for this sort of came from the Time 100 Gala set list. So
interesting. Yes, I did think that actually. That is almost like a slightly similar, like that's probably the most similar vibe, really.
Yeah, kind of like a
Justin Bieber one, isn't it?
It is like kind of like in a way similar to that Target thing, but less private, because we have got videos from it, and it wasn't just like, it's not a fan event, obviously. It was like a proper kind of like, but industry event kind of thing. But she did such a good job. I love that. I love her speeches before each like parts of the songs.
Acoustic style.
That's what I would like as well. Give us a little kind of like speech moment before each of the songs, please, Taylor. I want to know all the ins and outs. Yeah, no, she looked great that night as well. Oh, she looked like a princess. And the way that she did some of them songs really, I don't know, changed my opinion of a couple of those songs in my head. Yeah. I don't know, it's such a solid kind of thing. Another kind of like performance that I was taking inspiration from are those Grammy performances from back in the 1989 era. Yes.
If I hadn't put Out of the Woods as last, and kind of the big end song, I would, and you know, it was kind of in between, I would have chosen the Grammy version of Out of the Woods, because Jesus Christ, that is the most gorgeous version of that song ever.
Exactly.
Just, yeah, like even the Blank Space, that's, like, this is a bit of a confession, but that's the only version of Blank Space I actually ever listened to, is the Grammy acoustic version. I've got it on my phone, like, because it's so good. Like, her vocals, and just, you know, the bit before where she's like, yeah, I'm in a diamond bathtub, and I just love it. That's literally the only version of that song I listen to.
It is a very good version. It's so stripped back, but at the same time, again, the emotion that she conveys is, I don't know, it's so heavy.
Stellar.
Yeah. So with that in mind, those are kind of like my inspirations for it. So I don't know, I feel like yours is much more up-tempo and well thought out, but still, we'll get to it. Starting off, I'm having State of Grace as the opener to this moment.
Good. That's a good one.
Yeah, I did kind of like play around with the idea of acoustic, but like further on down in the set list. But I think State of Grace is such a good opener. Like back in the day, you know, I don't want like the full bombastic version, but I want her with like her little, kind of like yours for the Red, where you said you wanted her with like an electric guitar kind of moment.
Guitar, yeah.
That's what I would have for State of Grace.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I think that's good. That's a really good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good one to open with. Obviously, she opened the Red tour with that.
Yes.
So yeah, no, good. That's a good, it's funny that we both picked a Red song.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. I knew I wanted State of Grace somewhere, and then when I kind of like thought, I did it because, like you said, that is the one that she opened the Red tour with, so it does kind of like make sense as an opener. But yeah, that is funny how we both went for Red up there first. Next up, here is where I've already cheated, like second one in. But I don't know, I guess this counts for 3 really, but never mind. Cardigan, August, Willow, Grammy mix.
Yes, it is a good one.
I want Jack there, I want Aaron there. They are going to be on the backup instruments. Yes, that was a whole moment. It was such a good moment as well. Yeah, that rendition of August.
Best version of Willow.
Best version of Willow as well. Yeah.
So
that's the next one. So we're starting off quite high, but the tempo's going to go down as this goes on.
Yeah, I was going to say the tempo's, because you were saying, I was expecting, you know, you were going to open with like, I don't know, Cold as You or something.
No, we're not going that way.
I feel like that's, the tempo's pretty good so far. And,
yeah.
you know, you've racked through a couple of hits. We've got like Cardigan, August, Willow, you know, they're on the Eras tour. Everyone knows them.
So this next one is the last one that I just added in. I don't know. I think people might kill me for this one, but Shake It Off.
Oh, no.
But listen, I get it. We've heard it like 1,000 times, but I want it like the guitar version. You know, this is a very deep cut as well.
Is it the Red Room one?
Yes, the Australian Red Room performance. There's something about that performance of Shake It Off. It's just different. Yes. It just is not the normal Shake It Off performance.
That is the only version of Shake It Off I listen to.
Yes.
I have the audio on my phone. Yeah, I literally that is in my favourites playlist, and I don't have normal Shake It Off because that version is so good. Yeah, no, I know the exact one. Yeah. I will excuse you because that is
exactly.
Like,
I don't want like the whole Shake It Off that we've heard once and again, but it's just a moment, isn't it? Like honestly, it is like
everyone
her
knows
biggest
it,
song.
singing along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've hit like that everyone kind of like can get on board with this first little part, and then whoever doesn't want to listen to deep cuts can leave the room now until like the outro because we're about to get into some, I don't know how this would transition from Shake It Off to this next one, but next I envisioned this part kind of like as a guitar moment like you did. So that part was more like a move around the stage kind of moment, that first part. Then we're going to like her sitting down with the guitar. The first one I want her to play, is this cheating? You have to tell me. I don't think so. I'd lie. So
I was gonna think, because I was gonna potentially put By the Way, swap out something for By the Way.
Okay.
But I thought, is that
deep
cheating? Cut. And like, would she say no? I'd lie's a little bit because it is kind of, well, it's not though, is it?
I mean, no, it's not. It's not really. It's quite problematic song, to be honest, because of all the history behind it. Oh, by the way, speaking of by the way, but not the song, the I'd Lie version that I want is not the version that she kind of like reworked and played on Billboard, in which she like the
you want OG.
I want OG like copied version. Melody version. I don't care.
Yeah.
That is the version that I love and that I will always love. And that is the version that I'd like to hear.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'd be very happy with that.
Yes. Deep cut. So I thought we'd go for that. And then next up, first one that we've both said, Fearless.
Interesting that you've gone for that as well, because obviously we've both heard that a couple of times this summer.
Yeah. But it was just
so you
such
think
a
it would be,
moment.
like,
the hand
it's
heart.
such a good one, isn't it? The
Crying in the
hand
club.
heart,
Yep.
the song. Oh, yeah, perfect. No, that's a good one. And I feel like I'd Lie and Fearless is a good transition.
Exactly, that was my thoughts. Like that, I thought kind of like tie it up a bit more, like the little country moment here. Next one again, it does count as her discography. I mean, it's not her discography, but she's on it, okay? So it counts.
Interesting.
We've widened the scope to all Taylor songs. Renegade.
That's funny. I weirdly did think about potentially
Yeah?
including that, because obviously she's never performed it.
Exactly, that's my thoughts.
And I would just be intrigued how she would play it and stuff like that. That's interesting. I did think about it, and then weirdly I did think, oh, this potentially could be something that Lisa would put on there.
Oh, really?
No, I did weirdly think that. I did think that you depict something like Renegade or something really rogue like the Owl Cot. You know what I mean?
Birch, no.
Birch. Oh my god, yeah, no way. No, that's good. That's a good one as well, to be fair. Because that would be quite fun on a guitar. Are you really going to talk about...
Exactly.
Cool.
We've never heard it. We've never seen her.
No.
As we have previously established, Aaron Dessner is at this concert. So, he can play his little guitar at that moment. Exactly, yeah. So it all makes sense. Then we go into a piano moment, which is the largest moment of the night, which is no surprise really for me.
Yeah.
And we're starting off with, I think I have included, I've not done it on purpose, but I think I've included all albums. We'll recap that at the end.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But my next song is Labyrinth on piano.
Interesting. That is proper rogue.
It is. I've tried to be a little bit rogue because, again, this is my curated experience.
Yeah, you're paying.
I'm paying for this.
For it.
Everyone else can leave. I don't really care. So, yeah, Labyrinth, I think, when she sang it and the plane flew overhead.
On the
What a moment.
Yeah.
What a moment. Yeah, no, I really love it. Healed version, by the way. And then we go into, so you had How Did It End, but I have Peter.
That's funny. Didn't I say something about Peter? I hope you haven't got ready for it next, otherwise I...
No, I haven't. I haven't, I promise.
I did think about Peter. It was a toss-up between How Did It End, Peter and Black Dog. Then I thought, no,
Right.
How Did It End, that bridge. But then I was
It's
thinking,
good, isn't it?
Peter bridge as well.
Exactly. That is the thing with these new TTPD tracks. It was very hard for me. The original album was difficult because we've seen a lot of them. We've been very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And they're very, very recent as well. So they haven't turned into crystallized favorites in our heads. So I think both of us, that's why we turned to, the anthology added tracks and those kind of songs. I did think of How Did It End, Peter, or Chloe, or Sam, or Sophia, or Marcus. Those were kind of I was playing around with those three options, but I went for Peter because I've recently just been loving that song. Funny enough, we now do move to a Reputation song. But it's not any of the big ones. This one is again a bit of I have already heard it, really, haven't I? But King of My Heart.
Yeah,
King of My Heart on piano.
It's kind of a bit of a classic.
Come on. Like we were saying before with the engagement and how iconic that performance was, it just reminded me of that kind of moment. But again, on piano, because I do think it's better on piano.
Yes, no, I think it's funny how some songs instantly, or literally you could go through Taylor's entire discography and you could just name a song, go piano, guitar. It's almost like you almost know what they were written on. There's just something about them where you're you just feel like it belongs to that. But I believe King of My Heart was written on guitar.
Technically a bit of both, because in the clips, in the making of the song clips, you have Taylor with the kind of bassy kind of guitar thing, and then you have her playing certain parts.
The piano with the hood up.
Exactly. And that video in specific was the one that always got me on this. I need to hear King of My Heart on piano.
On piano.
For all that time until I eventually did hear King of My Heart on piano. So kind of a bit cheaty, but then again, I added 3 songs in on one before. So if I get a repeat, then I get a repeat. Next up, speak of it before, you had it as your encore moment. I have it here, Out of the Woods. But 1989
tour version?
I don't know, because that really got me thinking when you said that, because originally I put it under the piano section, thinking of that Grammy performance of You Were Looking at Me moment. But can I make it a crossover between both, where she kind of
where she starts off with the piano and then builds into
and gets up, kind of Enchanted Wildest Dreams.
I was thinking of that bit.
Oh yes, that's such a good moment. Yeah, I don't know, it would kind of be a mix between those two moments, definitely, because
that'd be quite cool actually, to get the slow kind of and
the build up to it. Yes. Number 11 for me is Evermore on piano.
I suppose so. If you've gone Out of the Woods, big moment,
that's true. Maybe I'd have
would you then be able to just turn back around and get back to the piano and be
very
you know what I mean?
To be honest, I think you gave it much more thought than I did. between them. I think I've gone through a bit of like this piano section especially is very chaotic. It's like happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd have to rearrange that somehow. I'd leave that to you, who's a bit more of an expert at it. But I think Evermore would have to go, or maybe Out of the Woods would have to go before, I don't know, at the beginning. I don't know. I'd have to rearrange that, but definitely, yeah. Like, she's just got up and done this big thing, and then she's turned around like, great, November.
Anyways, back down.
Yeah. So, yeah. Somehow we'd figure that out.
I'm guessing that would be like the 1989 tour version where she like sings Bon Iver's parts and stuff. Not 1989, Era's tour version.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, I don't want Bon Iver there. We don't need him. So no offense, but I don't need him. We've already bust the budget with Taylor and Jack and Aaron.
What's Jack been doing this whole time?
Jack's just chilling.
Jack's just like, yeah, damn, he's now in the crowd.
Jack could, I don't know, play a bit of something while she sings Out of the Woods if he wants. You know? Yeah. Or he can just chill, whatever. Then finally we have like the last two songs. These are now back to the fan favourite moments, back to the big moments. Again, people who have gone out the room can come back in the room kind of like moment. Mm-hmm. We have Our Song, which again, kind of cheeky of me. Kind of cheeky. I have heard it as well. I've been very lucky with my surprise songs. But it's just such a moment, isn't it? Like, honestly, debut goes off, but debut especially goes off with that little closing moment with Our Song.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, the encore. Any guesses? What I haven't said yet?
There's a song that I'm surprised hasn't appeared
Oh,
yet,
no, she's not there. She's not going to be there, no.
I was going to say, but that's not going to be the encore.
No. You have it in your list as well.
Is it Enchanted?
It's Long Live.
Wildest Dream? Long Live? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, just for the nostalgia of it. I've not even heard it, but just like, you know what I mean, like the feeling of that kind of song, you know, in the fandom space. And like you said, I want the whole performance, like the Eras Tour moment that it should have been. I
want her pointing at me.
Oh,
I mean, like...
oh yes, I want her saying, with you, right in my face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. To be fair, I'd probably... Because I can actually play that song on guitar. It was like the first song I ever learned on guitar.
Okay, so...
I do it with my eyes closed. So I might be like, can I join you? Because that would be like, dream come true.
We're getting right in the weeds now.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. We've become part of the performance.
Yes. I can't play any of it, so I will just sit there. But...
stand there and watch.
Happily we'll do that, yeah. With Jack, we'll just sit there together. But yeah, those are my 13.
That's very good. Yes. Definitely, like I said, I'm surprised that Happiness was in there. That I almost just expected. I thought maybe Happiness over like Evermore or something.
Yeah, I know, that's true. I was between Evermore and Happiness, between both of them, but I just feel like recently I've gone towards more of like the Evermore messaging of Evermore rather than the Happiness, which are similar, but I don't know, I think Evermore is a little bit happier at the end. So I don't know, that's why I went for Evermore. Also, that way I don't always mention Happiness.
Yeah. I think you've gone for like a good mix of, like you said, like kind of pulling it out with proper deep cuts, ones that you really, really want to hear that you're never going to have the opportunity, but then also still crowd pleasers. So I think you've done a really good job of.
It was hard
because it is hard. It is really bloody hard, and I was having those problems. Like, oh, what do I do? I, to be fair, thought at one point potentially I might swap out. It was either going to be the Enchanted Wildest Dreams or Out the Woods, and I was potentially going to do the Reputation mashup of Style, Love Story.
I thought of that. Yes, I did think of that.
But then I was like, I've heard those songs a lot. Like, I love them.
This is it. That's the same thing happened to my
craving to hear it.
Shake It Off kind of thing. But I don't know. Sometimes they're so kind of like amazing that I understand. Like Taylor once said a long time ago that she would always play Love Story.
Yeah, she played Love Story until she was literally
exactly like she couldn't anymore because it's just such a fan favourite and it's such a big moment for her, such an important song in her discography. And I think the same can be said for Shake It Off, for You Belong With Me, for things nowadays like Cruel Summer, for a lot of these songs that have
Style.
that have kind of like opened up different parts of her career or connected different ways all too well with the audience. So it makes sense why you would want those kind of like songs there. And I see what you mean with the Style, Love Story, You Belong With Me, because that was such a good remix as well.
That was so good. It's the way that Love Story like smoothly
so smooth
Belong With Me in a way that you don't even notice, and you're like, oh my god,
yeah, you're kind of like singing it and you don't even realise you're singing it and you're like, oh my god, yeah.
No, I think I did think about that, and I was thinking, because I was thinking maybe you were going to do that when you said you had cheated a little bit. I thought, if you pulled that one out.
So we just went through all of my ones, and I was saying I thought that I had hit every single album, but I haven't. Lover's not here.
No. Lover,
oh no!
I said, and I was like, if there was going to be any that you were not going to pick, it was going to be
Oh, Lover, I'm so sorry. Oh, I don't hate Lover. Please don't get me wrong. I just obviously... I don't know, because I did think of Cornelia Street. I did think of Death by a Thousand Cuts. I did think of Cruel Summer, but I don't know, I guess because they are so recent.
Like, not to kind of show off, but like, especially for me, what's it, Death by a Thousand Cuts, I've heard twice.
Oh, wow, that's true. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, you were very lucky to get that. So not like, once, but twice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm kind of Death by a Thousand Cuts out, as much as I love the song.
Yeah.
So no, and also with Lover, because I did think, do I maybe pick Lover, the song? Because it's like a wedding. But then I was like, is that just a bit cliche? So that's why I thought I'll sadden it up a bit.
Yeah, that's true. I did think of It's Nice to Have a Friend as well, but I thought, I don't know, is everyone just going to walk out for sure there? Like, they're just going to be like, bye-bye, like throwing tomatoes?
That'd be amazing. If you imagine if you're at a wedding and Taylor Swift's doing a show, like, you would be an idiot to ever walk out and leave that. Like, are you kidding?
Well, this is it.
Like, a once in a
But then
lifetime.
again, both of us have got a bit, like, questionable. Like, obviously, this isn't curated for a wedding in specific. We tried to just go for...
No.
A performance that we would be paying for, but imagine at a wedding getting Peter and how did it end?
Yeah, exactly, and tied together with a smile, you'd be like, oh,
Peter President, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, I promise the mood will lift up in a bit, just, 3 months.
Bear with.
Okay, so we've now come to the end of this episode. I always love these kind of things, and a lot of our episodes are kind of like deep diving back into discography and like reanalyzing stuff and picking stuff, and it also means that you get to pick out songs and give, like Labyrinth and stuff that we never really get to talk about. So it's quite fun to kind of like chat about songs or think about stuff that we don't normally get to chat and think about. And it is a bit of a rogue one, so we hope that you've kind of enjoyed this episode, and if you have got this far, then thank you for listening. And as Lisa said earlier, let us know all your thoughts in the comments. If you would want to come to Lisa's show, my show, if you think they're both a load of rubbish and have your own suggestion, then let us know your list of 13 songs. And weirdly, it's harder than you'd think. It is definitely a lot harder than you think when you have to factor in that this is not just a playlist of your favourite songs, and it's got a flow and there's got a you've got to hold the vibe, attention of an audience. But yeah, as ever, thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe over on YouTube and give this video a like if you enjoyed. If you're listening over on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere where you listen to podcasts, we'd be really grateful if you could rate us. And if you want to keep up to date on all things Swiftly Spoken, new episodes incoming, then follow us on Instagram. Our handle is @SwiftlySpokenPodcast. And until next time, we'll speak soon.